America's Mayor live. Live by the skin of our teeth from Manchester, New Hampshire, because we were in the air coming to you from an airplane owned by an airline that smells. I'm going to tell you about it later, but I'm going to show you something first. I took this picture myself. Took this picture myself in the bathroom of this airline that you should never let your children go in the bathroom of because it's a disgusting piece of crap airline. And I was in first class. Okay, I was in first class. This is before anybody got a chance to even touch this piece of crap. This is what it looked like. Or should I put it on the? Oh, let me put it on the big thing up there, Ted. Teddy. Yeah. We're going to take this down like we took the airline. This Delta airline is a piece of crap. It really is, and they've just done it too many times now. This is 3 times in a row in which, and it isn't just me, it's the way they treat the children, it's the way they treat people. They're dirty, their food is disgusting, their food gets you sick, and then they have bathroom. This is after they cleaned. Imagine what the bathroom was like before they cleaned it. This is after they cleaned the bathroom at the beginning. I went in there at the beginning of the trip, and this is what the first class bathroom looked like. Can you show that up there, Ted? What do I have to do to get it up there in place of the American flag, which is a terrible thing that we have to do this, but this is for the benefit of all Americans that might have the slightest thought of flying Delta Airlines. And I tried to complain to them for the second time, and I was given the runaround. They told me I could go on an app, and you can't find the app. And when you get on the app, you still can't. Yeah, let me just move out of the way so that you get a good look at this piece of crap that they have there. Okay. Wow. There. Okay. There it is. Okay. You got a good look at it there. Want to see a little more of it? A little less of it? There. There it is. Piece of crap. There. Good. 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 Nice, huh? This is before the plane had more than 4 people on it. This is after they cleaned it. Delta Airlines, first class. I think the ticket's over $1,000. Look at that piece of crap. Now, all that tells you, because I'm as you know, I'm a believer in the theory that little things can tell you about big things, right? Got myself a little stuck here. All right. So this will tell you things like if they take care of the bathroom this day, what do they do with the engines? You think there's as much care for the engines? Food? Last 3 trips, 2 times I got an upset stomach from their food. The 3rd time I actually vomited from the food on Paris airline, which is connected with it. I don't know what they're putting in the food, but it must be coming from the Paris Olympics. The staff is uncaring. You complain to them about these problems, and they look at you like, oh, put in a complaint. And then it's impossible to put in a complaint. They know. I said, well, could I have a piece of paper? I could write it out. Oh, we don't do that. We don't do that. You have to do it online. Well, let me show you how to do it online. An hour later, Dr. Marie and I are still trying to figure out how to do it online. And we're not computer geniuses by any means, a little too old for that, right? But we're not dopes either. You're not telling me you make it hard to put it online because you're really anxious to collect all of the crap about your shitty airline. Steve Wynn and Donald Trump would very, very often, when they were running hotels, ask you, "What's you staying at the hotel tonight, Rudy?" "Yeah, I am. I am." "What's the room like?" "Oh, it's beautiful, Donald. It's beautiful, Steve." "Oh, come on. There's got to be something wrong with it." "No. there's nothing wrong with it. What do you want me to do? Make? Yeah, I want you to make something up. If there's one thing you could fix, what would it be?" Nobody's getting in trouble over this. Obviously, we understand human beings can't do it. We just want to see, is there any consensus developing around us? And you come up with something, and sometimes it was nothing, and sometimes it ended up meaning that their hotels were the most beautiful hotels in town. Not an uncommon not an uncommon practice for a good capitalist businessman who creates exceptional value for people based on competition. It's the thing that's missing when you go to communist school, like Obama did, and like the Clintons did, and like Tampon Tim did with his 30 trips to China, or where Tampon Tim will tell you an absurd statement like one man's socialism, he could have said communism, is another man's neighborliness. I'm sorry, I'm not letting you forget that. Every day between now and the election, if I can remember, I will repeat that to you. I'm not going to keep a toilet bowl behind me. Oh, yeah, we'll put that up. Oh, okay. They should have a press conference in which they apologize for the way in which they treat their customers and how they are going to put an emphasis on quality. And I got to tell you, European Airlines, it's the one area in which they're beating the hell out of us. I've been on a couple lately, I hadn't been in a while, and they've improved, and we've gone, oh, could it be Biden and the lack of morale? When you lose morale, Ted, you lose morale in all areas. It's like a team. Um, no one has ever written and maybe you can't, no one's ever written a really definitive book on morale. And I think it might be impossible to do that. It's so hard to, it's like, I remember a game. Can I use a baseball analogy? I remember a game, and I think Kenny Caruso is going to remember this game when you get to talk to him. I don't think Costello was with us for this game. Back in the '80s, my key partners in going to games before I had my son Andrew were Ken Caruso and uh, and and um, and Bob Costello of Hunter Biden hard drive fame. And we were at a game, and we invited. I think it was one of those early night games, which they were experimenting with, like a 6 o'clock game. That they were sort of experimenting with. They like
That's a tough start time.
1 o'clock games and 4 o'clock games and 7 and 8 o'clock games.
Yeah.
But I think they were doing a 5 or 6 o'clock game. So we went, a whole group of us, maybe 5 or 6. And in the second inning, the Boston Red Sox went ahead of the New York Yankees by a score of 8-0. With what's his name on the mound for the Red Sox, their best pitcher, who became a Yankee. Oh, come on.
The best pitcher for the Red Sox who became a Yankee.
Yeah.
Not Roger Clemens.
Yeah, Roger Clemens.
Roger Clemens.
Yeah.
Wow.
So they're winning 8-0. Okay. So Kenny, who's big Yankee, they're all big Yankee fans, but Kenny had been saying throughout that he wanted to go to this game because it gave us enough time afterwards to have a nice steak. In other words, the game would be over at 9. We could have enough time to go to a nice steakhouse.
Yeah.
He said, "What the hell do we want to stay for? 8-0.
Yeah.
A couple of the guys are going back and forth. I said, Kenny, my rule, I never leave a game. He said, "Yeah, but you have some exceptions to that, right?" He said, have you ever had an exception to it? Ken's a very good lawyer. I think so. I think I probably have. Sometimes there's just mercy rule, right? I said, but I can't think of one offhand, but I probably have. He said, this would be a good one to do it with, right? We got plenty of time to go downtown against traffic, have a great dinner. I don't know if the Yankees come back, we could come back here by the 8th inning, right? But they're not coming back. All right, okay, but do me a favor. I haven't been in a game in a while. I just want to see a couple of the Yankee hitters. And I don't remember if this is the first run they scored off him, but it was the 3rd inning because it happened in the 3rd that the Red Sox went ahead 8-0. And Joe Torre always said, if you're ever going to come back in these games, you got to put something on the board right away. If you don't, you'll lose all momentum. Well, I can't remember if the Yankees put a few runs on the board, like 1, 2, right?
Right.
Or none. But I'm sitting there, and I was not sitting in my usual mayor's seats. I was sitting behind home plate, which is where I sat before I was mayor. And the pitch comes in. It's got to be close to 100 miles an hour, right? And at the plate, at the plate, the Yankee hitter hits the ball 435 feet into dead center, and it goes bouncing around the darkened bleachers in what is no man's land, where nobody hits the ball, ever. That's Babe Ruth, Joe DiMaggio, Mickey Mantle, and now Judge, sacred territory. So the tough pitcher who used to, remember, throw at people, right? He looks around, and you can see he's actually in a state of shock that the ball was hit that far. He didn't throw him like something over the plate. He's throwing like a 99-mile-an-hour fastball,
Yeah,
designed to back you off the plate. The ball the minute you heard the ball hit the bat, we were in the first row, right? The minute you heard, you weren't even paying attention. You heard the ball hit the bat, all 8 of us, right? Boom, boom, boom. You watch the ball. It's most amazing. You just watch the ball take off. It's just going higher and higher and higher and higher. You don't know where the damn thing's going to end. And he made the mistake of watching it, the pitcher. Now the score is Red Sox 8, Yankees 3. Do you know before that inning was out, the score was tied? And he was gone. And it was a real game. He fell apart. The pitcher fell apart. Literally, Winfield castrated him. Yeah, and I wish we could find that because it's the look on his face.
Did the Yankees end up winning?
The Yankees won after, but believe it or not, I think it became an overtime game. I think it went into extra innings.
They were down 8-0.
Yeah, they were down 8-0 and they won it. Now, here's the really beauty of it.
2012?
Yeah, no. Oh, was it 2012? No, I think it was earlier than that. It was.
Yankees came back 9-0 at Fenway in 2000.
No. This is Yankee Stadium.
It's a long time ago. This is not a long time. This is most likely the 90s. Were you mayor?
It was definitely in the 90s. I wasn't even the mayor. I was U.S. attorney. It was in the 80s.
Because that was Clemens was a
Clemens was in about his second or third year. I would say it was. I'm gonna make a big guess on it now. I became U.S.
Oh, I'm not. I have the date.
84.
85.
Okay, read it to me.
1985. We're gonna put this Well, I'm gonna put the. In 1985, Don Mattingly only hit 2 walk-off home runs in his career.
It's not Don Mattingly.
The first, which came against the Minnesota Twins in '85.
Not it.
You're right. This is wrong.
The hitter
This is wrong. I got it wrong.
is Davey Winfield.
Got it wrong.
And he hit the ball 430. My memory is impeccable.
Yeah.
You want to give it to me and I'll find it?
87?
Let me see it.
Yanks.
Oh, let me see the final score. If you show me the final score, I'll tell you. Keep going.
Winning.
Oh, hit the first.
11.
Yeah, that could be it. That's what happened. It was,
I got to bring this story up for our viewers so they can follow along here.
but who hit the home run in the early part of the game? There he is.
Dave Winfield. Let me bring this up. For our viewers at home.
I swear to God, I didn't look this up.
No, I just did.
I didn't have the time to look it up. I was rushing.
Definitely not. Yeah.
How much of this do I have right? The whole freaking thing.
9-0.
I don't even think you think Tampon Tim could remember something like this. Get out of here.
I was too.
Pamela? Or by the third inning, I got the right inning. I had the right damn inning. By the third inning, it was already 9-0. Yankees could not see themselves winning. Yeah, like Kenny Caruso grabbing me by the, we got to go. Come on. We don't want to have hot dogs. Let's have a nice steak. Well,
We don't want.
I know where he wanted to go, too. You know where he wanted to go.
Smart.
I want to go. Come on, we'll start the park. We'll go to the park. Maybe they'll kill somebody there. And I definitely was U.S. attorney then. Not with Roger Clemens on the mound for the Red Sox. Yankees losing 9-0. Best pitcher on baseball on the mound. You just don't expect it, Dave Winfield said later, who I, by the way, love. You just expect to chip away a little and maybe go home early. The Cy Young winner on the mound, the MVP of the league, and he's still throwing gas. But by the end, the Yankees had completed a startling comeback, beating the Red Sox in 10 innings, 12-0, before a crowd of 45,123.
That could have been
The
45,000.
Yankees, who are unbeaten in 5 extra inning games this season, scored 11 runs in the third inning, 8 of them off Clemens. What we got to go on to point out is that Clemens hit the key home run. They also pulled that virtual tie. You don't expect to win those games. Exceptional relief pitching from Cecilio Guante and Pat Clemens.
You know all these names.
Who held the Red Sox scoreless, and Wayne Tolleson, who hit the game winner off Calvin Schiraldi, a hell of a pitcher in his day. Tolleson, who was in a 2-for-18 slump and was batting only .238 when the night began, hit a single through the middle to score Mike Pack. Oh, the Yankee third baseman. At one time, the Red Sox third baseman.
Wow, they really
Pagliarulo had drawn a walk from Schiraldi to open the 10th, then moved to second. Tom Stoddard, who faced one batter and was credited with the victory. Keep going on and on and on, because they're missing the best part of the game. Why the Times can't cover sports like they can't cover politics. You never could, because you're sissy sports writers like you're sissy political writers. You never play the damn game. Mattingly, in only his second game after returning from the disabled list, had 4 hits and 6 times at bat. But Wade Boggs of Boston saw the end of his 25-game hitting streak, probably why he quit and became a Yankee. Yeah. The Boston third baseman was without a hit and 3 times at bat. Tommy John, the Yankees starter, encountered difficulties of his own, I guess, man. He got whacked for 9 runs. We don't want to mention that because I love him.
Tommy John, that's the name of the surgery.
I love Tommy John.
Is that the name of the surgery?
Of course. You want to meet Tommy?
Yeah.
Good friend. I don't know what good friend of Andrew's, too. I don't know what went wrong, Winfield said of Clemens. The Yankees have to face Clemens, but Clemens has to face the Yankees. Winfield began the Yankee rally with this is the one I'm talking about, right?
Right.
But I'm going to tell you, they don't understand baseball. This whole game was won because of what I'm reading to you right now. And then all the runs, everything else, the whole thing.
Oh,
Winfield began the Yankee rally with a 3-run homer. and he later drove in a fourth run in the inning with a single off Steve Crawford. In other words, he batted twice in that inning, right?
Yeah.
The Yankees sent 15 batters to the plate in the third, right?
So they buried the
The
lead.
Red Sox right-hander, who was 24-4 last year, won both the Cy Young and most valuable player, would have beaten the Yankees last Sunday in Boston. But this time, he faded after the Winfield homer, giving up 3 hits and 2 walks in the following 5 batters. He left with the score 9-6, but the Yankees weren't done.
They buried the lead. You mean to tell me the New York Times buried the lead? Oh, so we're shocked.
No.
We're shocked.
Times writer doesn't understand baseball enough to understand momentum. I'm going to tell you that any baseball writer would have, like a great writer about politics and about human affairs, you know how to get to the core of an event.
Yeah.
The core of this event was the Yankees were out of it. The game was over. Rudy Giuliani was almost being convinced to leave a baseball game, which he never did, by one of his best friends. And all of a sudden, Dave Winfield hit a home run that knocked your socks off. It just knocked your socks off. And as a pitcher, you sat there wounded. It was as if somebody came up there and beat you over the head with a baseball bat. And it's the reason why the home run is the most exceptional thing in baseball. And when idiot people who don't understand baseball try to compare home run hitters to single hitters, they don't know what the F they're talking about. They have no idea what they're talking about. There is nothing like a home run to turn a game around, an inning around, a World Series around, and anything around. Baseball's certain kinds of home runs are violent.
Yeah.
They're actually violent.
I love
When
that.
you watch, there was a kid on the Yankees now in the minor leagues who just hit a ball 137 miles an hour. They say he hits as faster or as fast as Judge and Soto, and I don't know if you realize it, but when players see those balls whipping around the field at 130 miles an hour, right?
Right.
They get scared.
Right.
Which is why the 100-mile-an-hour pitcher is scary. He can hurt you.
Yeah.
He can kill you. What do you mean hurt you?
This was
Wilson,
what we're playing now is actually the game itself.
Well,
just as B-roll while you talk.
you work on it and you see if you can find the actual home run. Well, that's Tommy John, who got whacked in this game. And
What inning was it? The third?
Well, but they had 8 runs by the third inning. So Tommy was kind of old then. This was the end of his career. I mean, first of all, please don't judge Tommy John by this. This is not the right part of the game to watch. It was a great Yankee. Man, oh man, was that a great Yankee.
So even in 1987, they didn't put the score on the screen, I noticed, unless it's just a copy of the tape.
Yeah, it might be the copy of the tape. Yankees down 9-0. I mean, maybe you want to, if you can.
No, that's
What might be worth it is seeing the Winfield home run. Now there's a man on, that's Willie Randolph on second. He was the Yankee all-star for second baseman, all-star.
Yeah.
Willie was a fine ball player. Part of the comeback of the Yankees. This looks like Roy White at the plate to me.
Here's Wayne Tollison.
Oh, it's Wayne Tollison. Okay, he did look a little like, okay, so he's got him there. So now he's got a man at third. Yeah, who's up now?
Is this did he,
I hope we're not.
shot?
I hope we're not boring people with this. But are people watching this? Oh, here's Wayne Tollison, the shortstop.
Is he after Tollison?
Uh,
Could this be the inning where he gets 2 men on base and then?
I'm hoping so. If it isn't, we'll have to, cut it off. We're wasting a little too much time on this, but I'm too excited. Ooh, that was a bad pitch. The same pitch, it seemed to me. What is he going to walk?
And the end of the second. What time did this happen?
What happened in the third inning? So get yourself to the third inning, and I will.
Gary Ward. Do you know where Gary Ward batted in the lineup?
No, gosh, no. You're taking me back 25 years, my friend. I know I'm a genius, but I'm not that much of a genius. He batted up in the batting order. He was not a. Yeah, but Dave is not necessarily the could be the number 2 hitter. Don was a number 2 hitter very often.
So Winfield was after him.
Winfield be 3 or 4. Mattingly, of course, got a hit. He always got a hit. That is Dave the Rave. Yankees down 9-0. Dave Winfield at the plate.
Do you remember that? You don't
Look at the size of his arms. Oh, tried to throw at him. Oh, you don't throw at Dave and get away with it. You do not. Oh, he didn't look happy about that, did he?
No.
Look at Dave's face. He's a good friend too, by the way.
We gotta meet these guys.
Dave loves me. I love Dave.
I feel bad for
Now,
Tom and John.
do you notice how far from the plate he's standing?
Look at that.
That's weird, isn't it? Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness!
That was like a.
Did you see that?
That was like a shot. That was like a shot. Like a.
Now, look at him. Look, they got to show the picture. The picture is dead. He's dead.
Oh, they show the picture after.
He's winning by 100 runs. Yeah. But look, please show him. He just killed him.
You always got to show the picture after a home run. Right?
Yeah, there he is. There he is. Yeah, what am I going to do now? I threw my best pitch, and the guy raped me. He took my left testicle and threw it out to right field. This is what's going on. Look at him. He can't.
Look at that. Look at that shot. Whoa.
Do you realize how softly he stroked that ball? Did you see that?
Doesn't it seem
perfect? Opposite field, too.
Oh, wow. All right.
So, by the way, Clemens is gone by the end of the inning.
Yeah.
Want to watch the rest of the inning?
Might as well.
What the hell?
This is how we started, Mayor. Remember? Yankees baseball in October of 20.
I don't think he makes it out of this inning.
That's a pop. Foul ball.
Yeah, you're not going to catch that. I wonder if that's Petrocelli. I think he was gone by then. Look at Dave. He knows he got into his head. What I'm talking about here is 9-3 lead. If you're Clemens, you're pretty happy, right? Right? But he's going to blow up here. This blew him up. That home run blew him up. Now, Cordell Washington was that. Look, he was batting .421. Cordell Washington was a great acquisition for the Yankees. These were the Yankees' questionable years where they were good enough to fight for the title, but not good enough to make it. But they had a very good team during the 80s. Cordell Washington was a fine baseball player. Oh, did he hit?
Nope. Close.
Now, it was my good friend here. Not a good friend at that time, but 10 years later. Maybe he got a bad call there.
Right.
Here we go. I know we're spending a lot of time on this, but it didn't happen as quickly as. So I would say we got to give Claudia a big boost in keeping this inning going. He's making the pitcher really work. You notice that? He's making him really work.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Right down the line, in the corner. Foul ball? Wow.
Wow, right?
No, he's right on. But, I mean, the key is Cordell Washington is right on him. Watch this. Watch this. He's right on him. Boom.
Oh, wow, yeah.
He just misses that by inches. You know he's going to get. I know as a expert baseball observer, he's going to get a hit. I know it. I'm telling the guys on the bench, stay with him. He's going to get a hit. He's going to get a hit. I'm telling my pitcher, don't repeat the same pitch. Let's do something different. Let's go inside now. And he's not. Dopehead. Now I agree with you. I agree with you. You may have had a strike there. I agree. I'm not arguing with you. You might have gotten robbed there.
Yeah.
3-2, 1 out. and he walked him. Now, that was a ball. That was a ball for sure, and he held up his swing. I thought Cordell was going to get a hit after he worked him that way.
Yeah.
But he's struggling. The Yankees are making him struggle. And up until then, until the wacko home run, yeah, there's the strike. Sorry. I'm sorry. That's baseball. Yeah, I know. Don't keep arguing. You're going to
He's
get thrown
arguing
out.
from the mound.
Well, he should be. It was a bad call.
Oh.
I am a Yankee fan, but that was a bad.
I don't like that
call.
they didn't put the score.
That was a bad call. I'm probably announcing the game as my friend Phil Rizzuto and his good friend White.
Who was the guy that would leave early to beat the traffic?
Phil Rizzuto. This is still too early.
He'd literally like leave and or we'd be looking over the railing or what?
You know what they're doing to the big guy? They're making him work, aren't they? This is what the Yankee teams of the 90s.
I mean, this got to be early in Clemens' career.
But this is the 80s. But the Yankee teams of the 90s were the best teams in baseball for working a pitcher. By that, I mean making you throw a lot of pitches.
Yeah, running up
Making
that
you
pitch.
throw a lot of pitches. And then the Red Sox learned it and did it as well.
Well, I mean, Clemens this is one of his early years, right?
Maybe second.
Yeah.
And Clemens was a great college pitcher, too.
Yes, I did know that.
I mean, and this is long before any steroid bullshit. Wow. Look, he lost it completely, right?
Yeah.
Can't find a strike.
Yeah.
Oh, now.
He's flustered.
The score is 9-3. He's winning.
Yeah, 9-3.
He's winning like you and I can win this game. 9-3. But it's in his head. It's in his head. He's a major league pitcher. But Winfield's in his head. Ball. Now that one he gave him back a call. He gave him back a call.
Yeah,
Remember earlier
but he even patted himself though.
The bad call before?
Watch this.
Oh, that's outside.
Oh,
I mean, that is clearly outside.
Yeah. But look at him, look.
The umpire,
Why is he doing that?
he said, what are you kidding me?
I'm thinking like, oh, that's on me. That's on me.
He's probably, why are you taking that on me?
Oh. That's fair.
Oh,
Where are you sitting for this game?
I was sitting behind home plate.
Your usual seats?
Let's see if you'll see me.
You're behind home plate.
Home plate, right?
Potentially on the screen.
Let's take a look. Let's take a look. If not, and of course, I was a maniac.
You're back there?
I'm right behind there. It may be that
grainy guy?
you see that whitey surface there? That could be Costello.
No, I see the white hat.
Well, you see it?
Could somebody be wearing a white hat?
Well, I don't know about that, but there's like a grainy surface.
Unfortunately, the
Kind of a very, very white
Yeah,
face kind of guy. Yeah, we got to move on to some news here. I mean, we're really we're getting decrepit here.
Let's get one more shot of the crowd behind home plate.
By the way, this is the old. Stop it. Hold it.
Right there.
I'll tell you. No. What's it?
Definitely right here. Would you be wearing a suit?
I would. Can you make it bigger? Is there any way to make that bigger? I mean, even if it's
a low quality.
We had a bunch of friends there too. It was about 8 people. As I recall correctly, this was a daytime weekday game.
We'll look to get bigger.
No.
Line, we'll take a look.
Later on, you know what we're going to do tonight?
Any of your friends have a beard or a mustache?
Yeah, a lot of them did it in those days.
Oh, big mustache.
Yeah, that's not them.
Right here, you think this nice with the hat?
I know Kenny Caruso was at the game. I think I see Mike McCasey. And I'm going to show you where I see Mike McCasey. See the white hat?
Yep.
Now go just to the left of the white. That's right there.
Right here.
I think that's the former.
Was he bald at the time?
I didn't think so, but he was bald eventually, so it could be.
But that could also not be a bald. Yeah, so you would be to the left of him. Oh, could be right here.
Yeah, I see a guy there that looks a little like Trump, to tell you the truth.
Did he go to games with you?
Oh, God, yeah.
You went to a lot of Yankees games with you?
Yeah, but he didn't like to sit down. He liked to sit upstairs.
In the box?
You'll see a lot of pictures of me up in the box with him and Steinbrenner.
Why? He didn't like sitting out in the crowd?
I think he liked it better up there because people would bother him. I mean, that's why that whole thing about how he went into Bloomingdale's and
Yeah.
raped the girl, whatever,
Crazy.
sexually. People were on top of him. He couldn't go. Poor guy couldn't go anywhere. I was a lot less well known then than he was, or
Yeah.
than I am now.
Yeah.
So I was. What year was it? 97.
87. 87.
87. Then I was a pretty well known U.S. attorney. Compared to him, he was probably 5 times better known.
Breaking news.
What?
My reaction is probably makes it more than it really is, but Colombia, the president of Colombia has resigned.
Where's he going? Where is he?
Remember Manoush Shafiq?
Will he be running a Chinese university?
Isn't that amazing?
He'll be running a pro-Hamas Chinese university very shortly.
Manoush Shafiq resigns. Yeah, I'll get this up right now.
That's
Breaking
what I-
news.
That's what I believe. He'll be running very, very shortly a pro-Hamas.
It's that woman, remember?
Oh, yeah. The one who can't figure out whether to stop them,
Yeah.
not stop them, keep them going, not keep them going.
Yeah.
Whatever. I mean, yeah, right.
So interesting, with the school year coming up, I'm guessing that was what really got her out. Or they wanted, maybe this was already in the works. But we'll just put that up as a quick little breaking news ticker. We're getting other news. RFK Jr. apparently, Mayor.
Did he? What, no.
RFK Jr.
He didn't leave a horse in Central Park, did
he? He left. Oh, it took me a second.
No,
He
RFK,
left the bear.
come on.
He left the bear cup. Well, apparently he has been attempting to meet with Kamala Harris, and
Does he want to give?
wants to drop out in exchange for a cabinet position. This guy's got some balls. I'll say that.
I like RFK in a certain way. You know that. I have affection for him. And this is worth nothing because I'm disbarred. But
Not true.
But what he just described is illegal.
Oh, you can't.
Well, that's a bribe. I'll drop out if you give me a cabinet position. He is offering again. Let's. Oh my.
Okay, here's how we work. I guess the way it's.
I've done this so many times to the benefit of
Margaret.
Of the stupid Ivy League people who all cheered Obama when he said that. All cheered Biden when he first said this to the Council on Foreign Relations. Okay. Crimes have elements. Some of them have lots of elements. Some of them have a few elements. Okay. I'm going to teach you. I'm going to teach you Criminal Law 101, which apparently I don't know because I'm disbarred, and all the people who do this know it, but they do it. Okay. So to commit the crime of bribery, you have to do only 2 things. Just 2 things. Here. See this? Can they see it?
Yeah.
Okay. So what does it say on one side?
Something of value.
Okay. Something of value. That would be endorsement for president. Okay.
Yep.
What's the official action he's asking for?
A cabinet post.
Oh. Yeah. Then they can, I think they're really fancy. So the dopey Ivy League left winger asshole lying sons of bitches don't miss it this time. Okay?
Yes, sir.
So this is known as red line here. Red line stands for bribery. Okay. Now, I want to try another one on you, okay?
Okay.
How about we try $1 billion loan guarantee. Fire son's prosecutor. What's that called? So I want you to look at that one now. This is it right here, okay?
Yeah.
So what does it say there, Ted?
The part that's circled?
No, the part below it.
$1 billion loan guarantee.
That's something of value, correct?
Yes, sir.
And what's the official action as for?
Fire,
Son,
son, prosecutor.
bribery. Now, why are there no prosecutions of either of these? Because of Democrat
Control of the courts.
corruption. You know, very simple.
That's right.
Democrat corruption.
Yes, sir.
It's the same reason that I once told John McCain I didn't want to be in the Senate because I didn't like sitting in a constitutional body that contained murderers. He said, "Who?" I said, "Teddy." He said, "Murder? Did you ever think of vehicular homicide, John? You're going to tell me that guy wasn't skunk drunk when he killed that girl? Come on, we're men. We're not bullshitting each other." He said, "Of course he was drunk. And of course he killed her." I said, "You like sitting there with a murderer?" He said, "I hadn't thought about it that way." I said, "That's the problem." And this was a long time before all this shit came out. I never liked these people, Ted. Obviously, they know I never like it because they won't put me in jail forever.
And you.
But you see, they're trying to put me in jail for nothing. They actually committed crimes.
Yeah.
He's right in the middle of doing it right now. He doesn't even know what RFK Jr. doesn't even know what a fucking crime is.
Yep.
Because he comes from the Kennedy family.
Yeah.
It's like when Fannie the Hoe says under oath, "Yeah, I took the cash from my campaign funds and used it for personal reasons." And nobody in Georgia reacts to it, including the crooked judge who's overseeing her case and my case.
Yeah.
I mean, a judge with the slightest bit of integrity would jump up off the bench and put handcuffs on.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't get this. Teddy?
Yep.
Teddy actually said he wants to meet with him in order to ask for a cabinet post.
RFK Jr.
Yeah. I once told Charlie Chris, who wanted it, he had his guy come to me and suggested to my guy, who said, "No way, are you crazy?" I told Charlie, do you understand this is a crime? Does it bother you? He had this like stupid, insipid look on his face, like it wouldn't bother the shit out of him.
So the Washington Post is reporting tonight that independent presidential candidate Robert F. Kennedy Jr. sought a meeting last week with Kamala Harris to discuss the possibility of serving in her administration, perhaps as a cabinet secretary, if he throws his support behind her campaign and she wins.
This is from the Post?
This is from the Washington Post. As report, this is the Kennedy campaign.
Honestly, this should be like a Trump hit that they would deny.
Oh yeah. No, this is coming from Kennedy's own people.
This is a goddamn crime.
Kennedy's own people are reporting this. Kennedy's own people are leaking this to the Washington Post, but not leaking it. They're publicly stating this, right? Harris and her advisors have not responded with an offer to meet or shown interest in the proposal. Maybe she has slightly better lawyers than Joe. The Kennedy outreach made through intermediaries follows a meeting in Milwaukee last month between Kennedy and Mr. Trump. President Trump. to discuss a similar role.
Stays a million miles away from him. That's a damn crime. I'm gonna call Trump. I mean, just
See what the hell else
oh,
was
but
said.
I'm just a disbarred lawyer. I don't know anything about this stuff. I got disbarred for defending Trump. They don't get disbarred for talking about crimes. I don't get it.
Is there a chance?
I think Teddy even failed the goddamn bar exam, like Kamala did, like Michelle did. These people are not lawyers. These are lawyers because their name is Kennedy, or they're black, or they're women, or like they don't understand the definition of bribery. That's for sure.
So that
What the hell do you get to take the bar exam twice for? I don't get that. Can't fail it. You can't pass it the first time. Screw you. Do something else. You know how many times
so you're saying one shot
you
and
know
you
how many times Judge McMahon would say to lawyers, would you please get your money back from law school? It's just a complete waste of time on you. You're just not smart enough. We've got so many lawyers that are bullshit artists. It's pathetic. It should be very hard to be a lawyer. You should be extraordinarily smart. And you should be extraordinarily honest, which is why I've been disbarred, because of that last part.
That's right. And when people
And because they're not.
Yep. You haven't sold out.
And certainly not the woman who presided over my case, who is a product of the Democratic machine, now getting freebies as a court, like referee, where they pay extra money in order to carry out Democratic hits. This is the one, Ted, you remember her.
Manu Shafiq.
The one that was presiding over my
Howell.
The one who was looking at her phone. And
Judge Howell.
No, Howell is the one who's the bloodthirsty district. There are plenty of them. Bloodthirsty District of Columbia judge who didn't think the January 6 people were in jail fast enough. She didn't think I should have a trial on anything.
I'm getting all these experiences mixed up.
I wasn't allowed a trial.
The disciplinary hearing, this crazy kangaroo court process, which I got to see up close.
Where they cut out 1/3 of the tapes.
Literally like at a
like it was all Russia. You could just cut out the tapes. Let's cut out the tapes.
We were brought to this and it was literally, I swear, and my dad's a judge, so I know a little bit about this stuff, right? And I followed him closely, and my
dad would vomit.
He's a Democrat. He's a Democrat, and he
would vomit if I saw a Republican do this.
Yes, it's.
I was a lawyer and
a lawyer, like my dad,
a lawyer and public official before I was a Republican.
I got to get my dad out here to meet with you.
Should have your dad.
Yeah, he's so humble.
Should have your dad just read the transcript of my hearing. I mean, one guy wrote the transcript of my hearing a couple of weeks ago with this piece of scum who was presiding over, and said, "Are you kidding me?
Crazy?
Are you kidding me?
It is crazy."
Affirm. Well, if it isn't, these people won't be able to get lunch anymore in the lunchroom.
Mayor, at least you can keep a sense of humor through it all. Jesus.
I don't know. Actually, people ask me that all the time. I don't know how I do, because I don't think it's funny, but then I do laugh at it. I don't know how I do this.
I mean, look, you think about your life. Think about everything.
It bothers me. The law part bothers me the most. You know that? The political part doesn't bother me the most because I expected it, but I never expected to be disbarred for doing my job aggressively, which I did do. I did it aggressively, but that's what I was trained to do as a lawyer. And I've seen people do their job aggressively for mass murderers.
Right.
Much more aggressively than I did, and dishonestly, and not get disbarred.
Right.
You even get nervous about disbarring lawyers when they're doing their job for their clients dishonestly, because the line between that and excessive advocacy is very, very thin.
Yeah.
And I've defended. Oh, never mind. I don't know.
No, Mayor. I
really don't know. I'm so discouraged. I'm so discouraged at the state of our union that, and then I'm also discouraged.
It's bad.
But even though I shouldn't be, by these polls that I see where it seems like some people are buying the Harris Tim bullshit, you know? Alan Blinder. Now, there's a real left wing, complete, miserable, yucky.
Well, I don't know this. The president's name is her name Nemat Talat Shafiq, or is it Manouche?
He'll attack you.
Or is it
You're
Manouche?
racist.
I don't want to get it wrong. That's what I'm asking. I don't want to get hot.
Matushi Manushi.
We gotta get this right.
We now introduce the new president. We'll make up one. The new president of Columbia University, Patushi Manushi. Where is she from? Just let out of terrorist prison in Outer Mongolia.
What? Since it wasn't racist to mispronounce someone's name. I mean, I pride myself in getting names right.
To lead the 5-seminar course on the destruction of the state of Israel, followed by the complete elimination of all Jews and all those with even slight Jewish DNA. We will no longer be fooled by these people who hide their being Jewish. And if you appear to be Jewish, if you act like you're Jewish, if you once pretended to be Jewish like Giuliani did, we're going to kill you. Reaction of Senator Schumer.
Yeah. Wow. Well, that's and that kind of came out of nowhere, this resignation today. But of course, with the school year right around the corner, mixed with the Democrat Party not wanting any issues going into the November elections, right? They want to.
No Joes. No Joes.
So she was forced out. I bet that goes back to Obama.
This Chicago, there'll be big signs like this.
Oh, there's going to be a lot of anti-Semitic signs. Just get ready for anti-Semitism.
How about? You think they'll have bathroom signs? You know, like.
Oh gosh, yeah, we're not going to know where to go. But look, Chicago's home to a large Palestinian population.
You think there'll be that?
Unfortunately, yes. Don't. All right. Yeah, I don't want to put your fate. You know what they'll do, right? They'll know. You know what they'll do.
How about this?
You know what they'll do.
How about this?
They'll do what they do to Trump when he makes fun of Joe.
Reverse.
Yeah. Yeah.
They ain't gonna do that, baby.
Yeah. Well,
you ain't getting near my circumcision. You want to take a shot at getting near my circumcision? We'll see if a kid from Brooklyn can take on one of you Islamic extremist shits one-on-one, okay? We'll see. I'm betting on the kid from Brooklyn. And I'm not even Jewish. But a lot of people think I am, and I'm proud of that. How do you like that? And if you want to ask me if I'm Jewish, you know I'm going to tell you yes.
well, I mean,
I'm going to tell you yes, I'm Jewish.
well, think of your last
What do you want to do about it, shithead? What do you want to do about it? Just you and me, not all these things with the things around the heads and just you.
That's like I'm expecting thousands and thousands of protests
Of anti-Jewish.
anti-Jewish
more
protests.
anti-Jewish people in Chicago than ever before in the history of Chicago. And Chicago is a good, solid Jewish city.
Yeah, and a Palestinian. There's a lot of
my
Palestinians there too, though.
From Chicago.
There's a large Palestinian
scholarship in Chicago. And I'd like you to know, beyond everything else, Jewish scholarship is an enormously important part of Western civilization. Did you ever hear of Western civilization? It used to exist before people like Tampon Tim and people like that came along.
Yeah.
Teacher Tim. He's not even a professor. He's like, what does he teach anyway?
He taught
studies. Social studies.
Whatever that.
I mean, he had that little like 6th grade social studies book that I had that he mastered.
It's crazy though. A social studies teacher from the Midwest going to China 30 times.
But is that social studies book the book that proves that socialism is is just another form of neighborliness?
That's what they. Yeah. That was his. It's
You think it's neighborly, like when they kill you?
Out, make the case. And for one thing, don't ever shy away from our progressive values. One person's socialism is another person's neighborliness. But we
Was that a tampon ad? You know, like what, where Mike comes on, Mike Lindell with his
My Pillow.
My Pillows.
It's like
Why don't we, you think we could make up like one of those, we'll say it's fake. Do you think we can make up one of those funny little tampon commercials with Tim in it? Sure.
oh, we could, yeah.
Sure, tampons now from Tampon Tim. You can get them in the men's room. You can get them in the girls' room. You can get them in any room. And if they don't work, don't worry. We allow abortion to the day of birth. And you know what I'm talking about. Huh? Day of birth. Give or take a few.
It's like, yeah, it's like,
Love killing babies. We love killing babies. We love killing babies. So what are Kamala's major policy programs? Killing babies.
Good question, right?
A big part, right? Killing babies. Mutilating children without parents' consent, right?
Yep.
Helping Hamas kill Jews, or letting Hamas continue to kill Jews, continue to whack up money with crooked Zelensky. What else? Not much more after that, right? Lock down churches, arrest Catholics going to Latin Mass. We're missing a few. I mean, there are other things they don't. They don't like. Put any now that anybody on January 6th was arrested. Arrest everybody in Washington on January 7th except Democrats, right?
Right.
Just in case we missed a few on January 6th.
Right.
Let's see. Make sure all 2020 rioters are free and fully compensated for destroying property, burning buildings, and killing people.
Right.
Make sure they're not out of pocket, at least, right?
Yeah.
It's a good program for destruction of America.
And
will this be the Democratic platform? Are they going to fight over? There'll be some Democrats.
It'll be interesting. Yeah.
I think there'll be some Democrats who will oppose giving them money for killing people in the name of George Floyd.
You would think, however,
But
I'm not sure there's any appetite in today's Democrat Party for something like that.
Have you read the George Floyd autopsy that said he died because of a drug overdose?
Yes. And I'm surprised that more. How is that? Why is that police officer still? I mean, it's a rhetorical question, but the fact that police officer is still in prison is insane.
You're surprised?
I'm not surprised.
Because we live in a communist country.
Like thinking back to some of the stuff we've had to deal with, it's worse than the Soviet Union almost.
We live in a communist country.
Yeah, we live in a and you know
shouldn't a man get a new trial based on the fact that their examiner? I mean, there are plenty of independent examiners.
What's the status of that right now? What is the status of that?
He's in jail. Nothing done about it. I don't remember how many years. We're going to go back and look. What time is it now, Ted?
We've just 8:59, but we'll do a little bit of soccer time.
A little bit more, and then we're going to take a rest because we had a long day today. We had a terrible flight on, and this is a non-advertisement. We had a terrible flight on Delta Airlines, which I don't recommend to your worst. I wouldn't even recommend it to a left-wing Democrat. How do you like that?
Wow.
You want to go? This is not meant to back up flights to Chicago or anything else. First of all, I don't want you.
Like they did to us in Milwaukee.
I don't want you getting there in bad mood. If I want things safe, once you get in there happy, at least start off happy. You're never happy. Have you ever seen a left-wing Democrat who's happy?
No.
Well, they show up after a Delta flight. My God. Maybe, well, do you think Delta treats them differently? Maybe Delta's a left-wing.
Yeah.
Maybe Delta actually gives them human food instead of a third-rate animal food.
Yeah, maybe.
Do you think Delta? I bet.
Look, I've had up until now, Mayor. I don't like how they treated you. But Delta is like Detroit's one of their hubs. So I grew up kind of.
Oh, stop
this.
Detroit. They're a bunch of pigs. I don't
Delta-
mean Detroit. I
Delta.
mean
Well, you talk about the American airline industry in general, right? Our airline industry.
oh, American Airlines are not like this. They don't have stupid bathrooms like. Come on,
I didn't mean the brand American Airlines.
Very few people have been on airlines as much as I have.
Yeah. I didn't mean
He was doing better going overnight on a merchant flight from Austria to Ukraine than that. That's their first class. That is Delta first class bathroom.
Dallas to Boston.
Dallas to Boston.
That's a busy flight.
At the beginning of the flight.
At the beginning of the day.
That's what they think of you. This is going on X right now. You're going to watch me put it there.
Okay.
Because I've had enough of it. This is the third. I'm willing to. They never apologized at all for the first time. They never apologized for the second time. And this time they wouldn't even give me any help in trying to figure out how to register the complaint so that maybe somebody had fixed this. What kind of a crappy airline is this? And when is this going to result in an airplane coming down? When you do this kind of crap, when you do not pay attention to little things, big things go wrong. It's the broken windows theory writ large for any intelligent leader, which doesn't even beg the question. It is the question, right? So let me see, where do I have that? I have that under photos. Okay. Now I'm going to find it here. Let's see. Come on. I hate looking at bathroom pictures, you know? What a stupid thing, looking for bathroom pictures. Here's a good one. This is a good one right here. We'll do it this way. Teddy, this way. Get this out of here. Get this out of here. So I'm going to make this real simple. I'm going to just put it out here on, where's X? Come on, X. I got Lou Diamond. I want X. Neutrality, X. There's X. Okay. Now I have it on X. Okay.
Yep.
There it is. Now what should I put on here?
You can do at Delta Airlines.
All right.
So put a period first, so it's not at.
Okay. So
Or not. Are you gonna say
period?
at Delta?
Period. At, like that little ampersand?
At DELTA
Let me get it right. At
Delta.
or formerly TWA.
Is that true? Oh, you're making you're teasing them. Okay.
This is Rudy Giuliani, who had a major role in destroying TWA.
Because they were liars. Well, explain why. Not just because they had that accident, but they lied and covered it up, right? That's important. That's important.
They were trying to lie about the people who were injured and take away their claims by asking questions like, on identifying bodies through DNA. Did your husband have cancer? DNA doesn't help you with DNA helps you with reducing liability, boys. Sorry. You ain't using my city to go screw people. Okay, so period at what? Delta, right?
At Delta, yeah.
At Delta. They probably can take all my points away, but who gives a shit? They're taking everything away from me anyways. Why not have them too, along with the left wing? They probably are in league with at Delta Airlines, or just Delta, at Delta?
At Delta. It should come up when you put it in.
At Delta, this is a typical first class bathroom at the beginning of a flight before anyone has used it. Imagine what it's like at the end of a flight.
Yeah.
You really want to fly this? You really think it's sanitary to fly this airline, right?
Yeah.
This is a photo of a Delta airline first class cabin bathroom at
So the mayor is currently tweeting at Delta,
beginning
and while he does that, maybe we can play some clip
of a flight
of.
from
While you type that up, let's take a quick commercial break so
Dallas
we can pay the bills. Mayor?
to, yep,
All right, we're going to take a quick break, come back, and we'll show you the final
Boston.
tweet
Boston's.
as the mayor files his complaint directly with
Oh,
Delta.
they wouldn't show me how to file.
Okay. So we'll be
Boston's.
right back.
Boston's. Logan.
Here we are, pretty much at the beginning of the process here at this pristine, I call it a laboratory. It's not like a factory, it's like a hospital. This is the beginning of the process for roasting. Deep green, very good quality. Most people don't use this quality. We deal with small farmers because they like to know who we're dealing with. They give us the highest quality, all organic, non-GMO. You should know all Arabica beans, no Robusto, all Arabica. They're going to go into the roaster and it'll get roasted for about 20 minutes or so. Oh my goodness, look at these. My goodness. You're going to want to specially order these. This is what goes into Rudy's coffee.
Welcome back. We're still working up
Only-
that tweet. We're going to go ahead and play our
Working.
second commercial.
This.
We're having the biggest sale ever on overstock clearance and brand new products. For example, save 60% on our Goose Down comforters, the best comforters ever. They go perfectly with our MyPillow bed sheets and duvet covers. Save 25% on our brand new kitchen towels. They're made with the same technology as our famous My Towels. Our initial quantities are extremely low, so get them now before they go. Our seasonal flannel sheets are finally in. You save up to 50% and they sell out fast every year, so order now. They're truly the best flannel sheets you'll ever sleep on. Or save up to 80% on all our clearance items. And this is where it gets even better. For a limited time, your entire order ships absolutely free. So go to mypillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use that promo code to get deep discounts on all MyPillow products. And for a limited time, your order ships absolutely free.
And welcome back. We're still
It's
spinning up this tweet. We're getting close here.
Wait, here it is. Here it is.
Here's
Here's the
gonna
final
show us
one.
all here.
It says it. Delta. This is a photo of a Delta Airline first class cabin bathroom at beginning of flight from Dallas to Boston's Logan Airport. It was indicative of the despicable service, including lack of help with illness. Only doing this because this is third time in a month that this has happened on this previously fine airline. Fix it before it's too late.
Yeah.
Let me make sure it's cleaned up here.
You want me to look at it?
Yeah, just make sure a couple little.
Yeah. And we'll have you give our audience some closing thoughts on a very busy Wednesday. We've hit an interesting show. We've hit some different topics.
No, we've been off topic a little bit, on topic. It's always on.
You want this to be all caps?
I don't necessarily want it all caps. I just was doing it quickly so that I could get back on the show.
Okay. Let me handle
it.
it.
You can make it prettier if you want. This is really a warning to them because I see this coming. Now, I was also on a French airline to Paris, and similarly, they are allied with Delta. You would think on an airline, a Paris airline, the food would be magnificent. I got sick. I got a sickness from their food. I was sick for 2 days in Paris with food poisoning from their food. And I could tell what it was. It was this rotten cream they put on. You could smell it. It smelled like dog food that I throw out. And they're also connected to Delta. So something's wrong there. I don't have the time or the energy to really run it down at this point, maybe when the election's over. But somebody who is interested in this area should take a look at it. Delta, in my view, had been a fine airline. I have nothing against Delta at all, other than, you got to catch this early and nip it in the bud. Otherwise, it destroys you. So we didn't nip Biden in the bud, and he's caused us 2 wars and hundreds of thousands of people dead, right?
Right.
We now have running for president the border czar, she really would be a joke if it wasn't for the fact that it's a tragedy how many people she allows to die. And we've got this asshole that she selected who's known for one major quote that'll be on his tombstone, I guess. One man's socialism is another man's neighborliness. Now, as a fierce opponent of socialism for almost all of my thinking 80 years, I, of course, don't understand a remark like that. But it is a remark I've heard at various times from uninformed Americans, naive, uninformed Americans. When I found out that this man's been in China on trips paid for by other people, I don't know if he's too cheap to pay for them or he's a crook. Over 30 times. I said to myself, this cannot be an ill-informed opinion. If you were to say, oh, socialism is just another form of neighborliness, and you don't know what the hell you're talking about, but you can't even spell socialism. I got it. I mean, they teach it in the schools, and you get a lot of kids who don't even know what socialism is. But this is a guy. This is a guy who should, among most others, be a fierce opponent of socialism. Secondly, he selected as the date of his wedding the anniversary of Tiananmen Square. Now, I don't know how many of you take the time to even in a cursory way study history. But Tiananmen Square was not, a great moment in the history of freedom. It was just the opposite. It was a extremely barbaric moment in the destruction of freedom. It was the Red Chinese, the single largest group who had killed their own people, destroying their own people who were seeking freedom, and driving back the Cultural Revolution so that China's culture would be destroyed, which then proceeded to take place and is continuing to take place, beginning under Mao and just going on. Hard Hard to determine how many people have died. Hundreds of thousands would not at all be an exaggeration. Impossible to outline the amount of economic damage, the destruction of female children, the attempt to eliminate the Uyghur people, among others, the on again, off again genocide of Catholics and Christians of different types. And of course, the unbelievably massive infiltration of other governments, including the one that they've most successfully infiltrated through spies and communists, but the United States, where now they are freely being allowed to send in enormous numbers of spies who at most are asked 4 questions before they enter. Some of their high-level access has been a driver for a major Democrat senator from California who had a Chinese spy with her for 18 years. Another congressman who really is a completely irresponsible, nitwit, jackass liar who was making love to a Chinese prostitute who was getting information out of him. I don't know why she was so stupid as to make love to him to get information. Okay, we'd given it to her anyway, just by faking him. We could go on and on. A Chinese police station that was stuck in New York for years before anyone did anything about it. And a president of the United States who has, unless we are completely crazy, been paid off by China. An American president whose family has gotten in excess of $51 million. And among other things, turned over an airbase 400 miles from China, closed it down so that America would not be protected by that airbase or China endangered by it. An American president who has stood by as the Red Chinese wiped out millions of people with COVID and done nothing about it. And we can go on and on about the massive bribery of the Chinese crime family, an American president who laid out stolen intelligence material in the thousands, constantly distributed and put in front of his son, who was a business partner of the chief spy of China. All of it admitted in writing and in video and audio tape, but ignored by the traitorous Federal Bureau of Investigation, who has had this material and done nothing with this to protect our country for 4 or 5 years. And now they're trying to wrap it all up and sell it to you like a bill of goods, the same way they did with the hard drive, which they covered up, using their anti-American, American-hating media to do it. Have we had enough? Are we near the breaking point? Are we going to stop them? Those are all big questions, big, much bigger than an election. And we got to stick together if we're going to answer those questions right.
Yeah.
Every day, it occurs to me, and I get sicker and sicker, that the consequences of this election are much greater than I ever thought. The weight of it is daunting. Every day there is new indications, and this introduction of Tampon Tim, clearly an operative of the Red Chinese Party. And I'm not mincing any words here. If you don't realize this guy is a Chinese communist, you're a damn fool. You really are a damn fool. I'm not even going to go over the facts right now. I've done it too often, and I'll do it again. And I'll have others on to help. But we're going to drive this home. You want to elect a Chinese communist, you're going to know you're doing it. You want to do it? Nothing I can do about it. I don't know how you prevent tyranny of the majority, except going right at it with the truth. Now, I'm going to read a little more. Hamilton and a little more Madison, who wrote on this. Maybe they'll give us some helpful hints, but that's what they're trying on us. The guys are turning over in their graves. Or turning over in their broken statues. Anybody knocked down any Z statues lately? I don't think so. I think Newsom is still putting some up for the big celebration in case there's an election. Well, we'll be back tomorrow night when we'll have a little better chance to organize. I thought we had a great show tonight because it was a little bit, you know what it was? It was a little bit like more creative, I think, in a way, right?
It was fun. The base
It sort of merged.
Yeah, and as we were talking, we put stuff together on the go.
I hope you like the baseball. Let us know. If you know, we'll cut down the sports a little. If you'd like to see a little more sports, we are coming into World Series time, which I love, and football time, which Ted loves.
We both love it.
And we both love it. It's just like I'm a little more baseball. He's a little more.
You're
football.
you're publicly known as Mr. Baseball.
But I'm willing to talk football anytime. He's willing to talk baseball anytime.
And we're gonna maybe go to a game together finally.
Yeah,
finally.
Darn.
No promises though. No promises.
No promises because they better not do any more Black Lives Matter bullshit.
I mean, this might be the Yankees' year.
Better not do any more Black Lives Matter bullshit on me. You know, I saw a picture of Tampon Tim walking by a Black Lives Matter sign. I said, did they ever read the first 5 pages of their manifesto?
Yeah.
Which basically says they're communists.
Yeah. That's why that goes right in line with his 30 trips to China. He probably does read. He probably knows it better than we do.
And it
shouldn't laugh. It's not
exactly
funny.
what we've been looking for. Who brainwashed our children? Tampon Tim. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll see you tomorrow night. First, the Rudy Giuliani Show on Frank's Beach from, we think, we never know,
New Hampshire.
New Hampshire. And then America's Mayor Live, also from New Hampshire, possibly the same place or other.
And we got
Getting ready for
Next
the
week?
communist, the first fully acknowledged communist Democrat convention in history to be held in the Democrat communist dictatorship of Chicago, Democrat for 60 years, with an absolute promise to never be Republican.
good night.
Pretty good, huh?
Yeah. I love that.
God bless America.
Yeah, get ready for next week.
Pray for the citizens of Israel, who I think may be escaping this one. I think, but no resting on your laurels. Second, pray for the good people of the United States, the people who believe in God and the people who believe in morals. If you can derive your morals without God, okay, just derive morals. And finally, God bless America.
Bear the principle of common sense and rational discussion to the issues of our day. America was created at a time of great turmoil, tremendous disagreements, anger, hatred. There was a book written in 1776 that guided much of the discipline of thinking that brought to us the discovery of our freedoms, of our God-given freedoms. It was Thomas Paine's Common Sense, written in 1776, one of the first American bestsellers, in which Thomas Paine explained, by rational principles, the reason why these small colonies felt the necessity to separate from the Kingdom of Great Britain and the King of England. He explained their inherent desire for liberty, for freedom, freedom of religion, freedom of speech, the ability to select the people who govern them. And he explained it in ways that were understandable to all the people, not just the elite. Because the desire for freedom is universal.
The desire for freedom adheres in the human mind, and it is part of the human soul. This is exactly the time we should consult our history. Look at what we've done in the past and see if we can't use it to help us now. We understand that our founders created the greatest country in the history of the world, the greatest democracy, the freest country, a country that has taken more people out of poverty than any country ever. All of us are so fortunate to be Americans. But a great deal of the reason for America's constant ability to self-improve is because we're able to reason, we're able to talk, we're able to analyze. We are able to